Hello, my dear students. Welcome to orientation of Ayurved basic principles, that are Siddhant. My dear students, you might have heard the word Ayurved many times before. Here is opportunity to get familiar with science called Ayurved. I gladly welcome you to the course Scientific Basis of Ayurved. In first module, you will get information about history and basic principles of Ayurveda, which will be used in subsequent sessions hereafter. Let us see objectives of today's session. At the end of session, first year homeopathy student should be able to define what is Ayurveda, whether is it a single book or a set of books. Know the legacy of Ayurveda. Here, legacy means how Ayurveda knowledge was transferred from one generation to another generation. At the end of the session, you should be able to explain motive of Ayurveda, the basic intention behind learning Ayurveda. You should be able to explain which are different branches of Ayurveda. Do really Ayurveda have any specializations? That you will understand in upcoming module. You will be able to enumerate Bruhatrayi and Laghutrayi. Understand what are Siddhant. You will get familiar with three theorems of Ayurveda. These are called as Siddhanta, so that you can be able to explain Panchamahabhuta Siddhanta, enumerate dosha, dhatu and mala, which are the basic constituents of our body. Explain Samanya Vishesh Siddhanta. Know what are Ayurvedic methods of health maintenance. Does Ayurveda emphasize taking medicines only, or there are any other methods by which one can maintain their own healthy state of life? All these topics will be covered in this first module, which is basic principles of Ayurveda. Let us first understand what is meaning of word Ayurveda. Basically, Ayurveda is a Sanskrit word derived from two different words. First word is Ayu and second word is Ved. Here, Ayu means life and Ved means knowledge or science. By combining, we get the word Ayurveda, which means science of life. We Ayurveda practitioners believe that Ayurveda is not just another medical pathy, but it is ultimate guide that directs us way to live long and healthy life. It is the oldest health science existing on earth. While exploring the history of ancient books, we come across fact that these ancient principles, which are written in the scriptures, were written about 1000 years BC. Currently, we are in 21st century AD. Thus, we can trail the origin of Ayurveda about 3000 years back. Hereafter, we will see what is exact definition of Ayurveda. All the knowledge of Ayurveda is presented in form of Sanskrit shloka. These Sanskrit verses are written in ancient text. We call this text as Samhita. So, presenting in front of you shloka, which represents definition of Ayurveda. Hita hitam sukham dukkham ayustasya hita hitam manam cha taccha yatroktam ayurvedah sa uchyate. This is the verse or shloka which represents definition of Ayurveda. These shloka has their specific reference. Below the shloka there is a reference which means exact address where you will find this shlok. This shlok is in first chapter of Sutrasthan of the most popular Ayurveda script, the Charaka Samhita. Here, the word Hitkar means beneficial Ahitkar means harmful. Sukhakar means pleasant and Dukkhakar means unpleasant. Ayu word in this shlok means life and Man word in this shlok means quantity. So, this shlok designates good quality and quantity of life. Ayurveda is science that highlights quantity, proper quantity of all the things which are beneficial or harmful, pleasant or unpleasant regarding maintenance of life are written in the science which is called as Ayurveda. Let us take an exercise as an example. Everyone performs exercise as a part of their daily routine. If someone performs very minimum physical activity due to his sedentary life, he will probably face problems like obesity, high cholesterol, heart disease, and ultimately it will disrupt their healthy state of body. On another side, if some other person does very vigorous exercise without considering proper body strength, then that person may have to face many unpleasant injuries harming their health. So, too much exercise is also bad for the health. But moderate amount of exercise is beneficial for health and mind too. The exercise when performed regularly and in moderate quantity will give strength, energy and enthusiasm and ultimately healthy pleasant life. Ayurveda mentions the proper quantity of exercise which is indicated for a person for maintaining long and healthy life. The health science which has all the things mentioned that lead to long and healthy life is called as Ayurveda. Let us have a look how this transfer of knowledge took place from one generation to another. This is said that initially all the knowledge of Ayurveda was existing in only verbal form, wherein Acharya or Gurus used to ask their disciples to recite the shlok and later explain the same shlok while performing the practice. Later, this knowledge was collected in textual form. These books were manuscripts or handwritten books, and these were called as Sanhitas. Currently, these same Sanhitas are available not just in the form of books, but in this digital era, they are available in digital format also. These Sanhitas are effective and efficient as they were useful many thousand years back. Let us see great legacy of Ayurveda. The great knowledge of Ayurveda was recollected by Lord Brahma. He revealed that knowledge to Daksha Prajapati. Daksha Prajapati transferred knowledge to Ashwini Kumar. Ashwini Kumar presented this knowledge to Lord Indra. So, the transfer of Ayurveda knowledge from Brahma to Daksha Prajapati to Ashwini Kumar and ultimately to Lord Indra is said to be divine legacy. In the past time, occurrence of various diseases interrupted daily routine of acharyas and people at that time. These acharyas were gathered together to find solution to diseases. They found that this knowledge of Ayurveda is in divine legacy at Lord Indra. Great sages of different tradition like Acharya Bharadwaj, etc., went to Lord Indra in quench to gain the great wisdom of Ayurveda. They thoroughly received this divine knowledge from Indra and passed it to their companion acharyas. These acharyas taught their students who created their own sanhitas or own texts. These Sanhitas are part of Ayurved curriculum. In this way, the great chain of Ayurved transfer is continuing till the time. Let us see the prime aim of Ayurved. Generally, most of the medical science aim at curing the diseases. Ayurveda is most ancient medical science which is different than others. The prime motive of Ayurveda is not just to cure disease. Let's look at the quote mentioning the prime motive of Ayurveda. Prayojanam Ayurvedasya swasthasya swasthya rakshanam आतुरस्य विकार प्रशमनम च, wherein चरक संहिता सूत्रस्थान अध्याय number 30 and shlok number 26. The prime motive of Ayurveda is written as Swasthasya Swasthya Rakshanam. Ayurveda guides to keep continuing healthy state of life. And Aturasya Vikara Prashamanam. If at all, by any chance, if any disease occurs, then use this knowledge to cure this disease. This implies that one can avail Ayurveda treatment in healthy conditions to maintain their health and also in diseased condition to get rid of the disease. Branches of Ayurveda. In modern multi-speciality hospitals, we usually observe multiple specialists using their subject expertise for curing disease. You may be surprised to hear that Ayurveda was and currently has 8 specialization branches. Kaya Chikitsa is related to internal medicine. Here, we deal with patients having diseases like fever, loose motion, vomiting, and general complaints. Bala Chikitsa is specialization similar to pediatrics. Here, we deal with patients in age group from newborns to about 15 years. Graha Chikitsa is specialty related to psychiatric illnesses. Here we deal with patients with mania, phobia, seizures, etc. Urdhvanga Chikitsa. Here we deal with patients with ophthalmological and ear, nose, throat ailments. Shalya Chikitsa. It is specialization related to surgical interventions like patients with piles, fistula, fractures, etc. Danshtra Chikitsa is branch dealing with toxicology. Here we deal with patients with snake poisoning, scorpion bite, etc. Jara Chikitsa. It works in field of geriatrics. Here we deal with patients having health issues due to aging like osteoporosis, which needs rasayan and rejuvenation treatment. Vrushya Chikitsa. It is medicinal intervention related to reproductive life. Here we deal with patients having infertility, erectile dysfunctions, etc. This confirms that Ayurveda covers almost everything under the name of medical specialization. Let us get familiar with the words Bruhatrayi and Laghutrayi. If anyone says that XYZ thing is written in Ayurveda, how and where you will confirm? The way of confirming it is by asking that fellow reference of the thing which they are saying. For that, we need to understand Bruhatrayi and Laghutrayi. These are the main reference books of Ayurveda. If the thing is written in these scripts or similar descendant Sanhitas, then only we can say that is authentic saying of Ayurveda. 3 primary scripts of Ayurveda are called as Bruhatrayi. These are namely Charaka Sanhita, Sushruta Sanhita and Ashtanga Hridayam. Whereas 3 secondary scriptures are called as Laghutrayi. These are Madhav Nidan, Sharangdhar Sanhita and Bhav Prakash. These are the set of books that contribute primary knowledge of Ayurveda. As these books were written by different acharya and were edited at different periods, let us get familiar with Bruhatrayi and Laghutrayi, which are prime references of Ayurvedic knowledge. The most popular among us is Charak Samhita. This book was written primarily by Acharya Agnivesh in about 1000 year BC. Later, Acharya Charak greatly edited this book in 2nd century AD. That is why the name of book is Charak Samhita. Later, some of the chapters were added by Acharya Drudhabal in 4th century AD. After this final editing, the book is having 8 divisions, 120 chapters, and total 9295 shlok. You may be amazed to hear this ancient book is studied by all the Ayurved graduates and it is applicable today also for treatment purpose. This book mainly emphasizes Kai Chikitsa, that is internal medicine. It has various Siddhanta, basic principles explained in it. The book has diagnosis and treatment protocols and medicinal formulations for various kinds of disease. Second book in Bruhatrayi is Sushrut Samhita. Acharya Vruddha Sushrut wrote this book in the time about 1000 year BC. Later, it was edited by Laghu Sushrut in 2nd century AD and Nagarjun in 5th century AD. Finally, corrections were done by Acharya Chandrat in 10th century AD. As a great effort of all these contributors, we have Sushrut Samhita comprising 6 sthana divisions and 186 chapters. This book is first of its kind to mention method of body dissection and details of anatomical findings. This book emphasizes surgical interventions. That's why Acharya Sushrut is said to be father of surgery. This book has quoted medical and surgical treatment protocols for various ailments. Introduction to Ashtanga Hriday. It is the third and last recent among Bruhatrayi. This book was written by Acharya Laghu Vagbhat in 7th century AD. About 1500 years passed, but this book is clinically efficient as it was before. This book has 6 sections, sthana, 120 chapters. This is the most recent book among Bruhatrayi. It is brief compilation of many previous Samhitas presented in poetic form to make it easy for remembering. Today also, many of the students by heart this shloka in the chapters and use them for successful treatment of the patient. Ashtanga Hriday covers all the essential knowledge of all the 8 branches of Ayurveda which we saw previously. Until this, we understood 3 primary scriptures of Ayurveda. These are called as Bruhatrayi. First was Charak Samhita, second Sushrut Samhita, and third Ashtanga Hriday. Now comes Laghutrayi. These are Madhav Nidan, Sharangdhar, and Bhav Prakash. Madhav Nidan was a book written by Acharya Madhavkar in 7th century AD. It has 2 divisions called Khanda and 69 chapters. This book plays a major role in understanding general and specific pathogenesis along with the signs and symptoms of various diseases. This book gives guidance about different types of diseases and their pathogenesis too. After diagnosing a disease, we need to administer medicines. But how these Ayurvedic medicines are prepared? You can get answer to this question in book Sharangdhar Samhita. This was written by Acharya Sharangdhar in 14th century AD. This book comprises of 3 divisions called Khanda and 32 chapters called Adhyay. It has directions about what are the methods of drug preparation. It has included some of the medicinal preparations from minerals. Purification and processing will be conveyed to you in Ayurveda medicinal preparation session later. Sharangdhar Samhita mentions pulse diagnosis, Nadi Parikshan, as a method of examining the patient. Bhav Prakash is third and last among Laghutrayi books. It was written by Acharya Bhav Mishra in 16th century AD. This book has 3 divisions called Khanda, 7 subdivisions and 32 chapters. Second division has mentioned some part of second division has mentioned the medicinal properties of various medicinal herbs and minerals. This section is also popular with the name Bhav Prakash Nighantu. Being recent among reference books, it has upgraded list of diseases and medicines in it. One can refer this book if he wishes to know what are the properties, functions and indications of any herbal medication. Here we understand secondary scriptures called as Laghutrayi, which are Madhav Nidan, Sharangdar Samhita, Bhav Prakash. Let us learn what do we mean by Siddhant. Just like we have theorems in science of physics, chemistry and other science fraternity, there are some theorems mentioned in Ayurved. These theorems are called as Siddhant. Siddhant nama sa yah परीक्षकैः बहुविध परीक्ष हेतुभिश्च साधयित्वा स्थाप्यते निर्णयः. This is quote in Charak Samhita Vimanstan Adhyay 8 Shlok number 37. It says, Siddhanta is those principles that repeatedly examined and established by subject experts. We will see these 3 Siddhanta which are essential for understanding the treatment aspect of Ayurveda. These Siddhanta are namely Panchamahabhut Siddhanta, Dosha Dhatu Mala Siddhanta and Samanya Vishesha Siddhanta. Panchamahabhut Siddhanta. It is also known as principle of 5 basic elements of the world. Being 12 science students, all of you must be taught that every material consists of atoms. Every atom has particular number of protons, neutrons, electrons which give them specific properties and characters. Similarly, Panchamahabhut Siddhanta in Ayurveda science accepts that every matter is made up of 5 basic elements. These elements are Prithvi, Jala, Teja, Vayu and Akasha Mahabhut. Every atom possesses various properties like atomic mass representing solid structure of Prithvi Mahabhut, binding ability represents cohesion of Jala Mahabhut, stored energy in atom represents Teja Mahabhut, movement in electrons represents Vayu Mahabhut and atomic space represents Akasha Mahabhut. So, we can surely correlate the theory of atoms in physics with Panchamahabhut Siddhanta. As per Ayurveda, every matter is made up of these 5 elements called as Panchamahabhut, wherein Prithvi represents stability, solidity and structure. Jala represents fluidity, cohesion and adaptability. Teja signifies transformation, metabolism and heat. Vayu represents movement, lightness and mobility. Akash symbolizes space, expansion and openness. This principle is used in diagnosis and treatment of the patients. For example, excess of fire element may produce symptoms like inflammation, redness, hyperacidity. These symptoms can be compensated with other element like Jala having opposite guna properties. Dosha Dhatu Mala Siddhanta. This is principle of forces managing the structure and function of the body. 5 Mahabhuta which we saw previously are combined together to form vital forces in our body that govern all the activities in the body. These vital forces in the body representing 5 Mahabhuta are 3 dosha, namely Vata, Pitta and Kapha dosha. Akasha and Vayu Mahabhut combines to form Vata dosha. It governs movements, transportation, sensation of the body. Agni and Jala Mahabhut unites to form Pitta dosha which contributes digestion, metabolism and heat in the body. Jala and Prithvi Mahabhut together forms Kapha dosha, which controls nutrition, maintenance and strength of the body. These were Tridosha, active forces controlling all the functions of the body. The structure of the body is said to be made from 7 basic components called as Saptadhatu. These are Rasadhatu, nutritious liquid which can be compared with serum or lymph. Raktadhatu is a constituent that carries prana which resembles red cells. Mamsadhatu, material giving shape and strength. Medadhatu, which is lipid-like structure. Asthidhatu, it is a material providing support to body elements. Majjadhatu is component filling inner cavities in bony structure. Shukradhatu, which represents reproductive activity. Some excretory parts are called as mala. These mala are fecal matter called as mala, urinary excreta called as mutra, and sweat is called as sweda. These 3 dosha, 7 dhatu and 3 mala contribute whole structure of the body called as sharira. When this sharira combines with sattva, that is man, atma, that is soul, to form complete living organism, we designate it as purusha. You will get essential principles of Sharira Rachana, Ayurvedic anatomy and Sharira Kriya, Ayurvedic physiology in upcoming modules. Samanya Vishesh Siddhant. It is principle of similarity and differences. Samanya Vishesh Siddhanta is one more essential basic principle need to understand the treatment part of Ayurveda. This is principle of similarity and dissimilarity. According to Samanya Vishesh Siddhanta, Samanya substance with similar properties have natural ability to enhance the effect or quality. It is same as when someone is having iron deficiency anemia, given with iron supplements will increase hemoglobin. Whereas substances with opposite or constraining properties tend to give constraining effects. Let's see one example. If spicy and hot food is consumed by patient having hyperacidity, it will aggravate the symptoms due to similar behavior samanyato. But when spicy and hot food is given in conditions where digestive secretions are less, then it will enhance digestive process. Our body tries to adapt to situation and try to get to normality. We use similar things which have add-on effect and opposite things which reduce the effect. In summer, we drink cold beverages to cool down our body temperature, and in winter, we drink hot beverages to keep our body warm. Details of this Siddhanta are applicable and will be discussed in upcoming modules. Ayurvedic measures to maintain health. Balance of Vata Pitta Kapha, if maintained well, will lead to healthy state of life. If this balance of Vata Pitta Kapha is disturbed, it will lead to various diseases. Ayurveda gives specific daily routine like Dantadhavana, oral clearing, Gandusha, oil pulling, Nasya, nasal instillation of medicine, Abhyanga, that is applying oil all over the body, Snana Karma, Udvartana, that is application of powder massage, exercise, Vyayama. All these things are essential to take care of the body and maintain balance of Vata Pitta Kapha. Ultimately, we maintain our health in good and healthy position. Healthy meals are essential, so Ayurveda emphasizes mindful eating and recommends consumption of freshly prepared, whole and nutritious food. The focus is on balanced diet. Also, as per the seasonal variations, there are changes in dosha, dhatu and mala, which can lead to diseases. We will see body detoxifying panchakarma procedures in final session. By dinacharya, daily routine, proper diet and rutucharya, that is seasonal variations of daily work, can help us in maintaining our health and hence leading to healthy long life. As a summary, Ayurveda is that science which guides to maintain healthy and long life. In legacy of Ayurveda, we saw divine legacy and human legacy, which started from Brahma, Daksha Prajapati, Ashwini Kumar, Indra, all the acharyas and gurus, and later on their disciples. Motive of Ayurveda. We saw motive of Ayurveda, which is maintaining the health and curing the diseases if at all they occur at some point of time in life. We saw 8 branches of Ayurveda. These are Kaya Chikitsa, medicine; Bala Chikitsa, pediatrics; Graha Chikitsa, psychiatric illness; Rudhvanga Chikitsa, ophthalmology and ENT; Shalya Chikitsa, surgery; Damshtra, poisoning; Jara, aging and geriatrics; and Vrusha Chikitsa, related to reproductive life. We saw that there are 3 primary scriptures of Ayurveda which are called as Bruhatrayi. These are Charak Samhita, Sushrut Samhita and Ashtang Hrudayam. There are 3 secondary scriptures of Ayurveda. These are Madhav Nidan, Sharangdhar Samhita and Bhav Prakash. Siddhanta are nothing but Ayurveda basic principles, just like theorems in any science. Panchamahabhut Siddhanta. It is principle of 5 basic elements of the world. These 5 basic elements are Prithvi, Jala, Teja, Vayu and Akasha Mahabhut, which contributes any of the material existing on the earth. Dosha Dhatu Mala Siddhanta. This is principle of forces maintaining structure and function of the body. In Samanya Vishesha Siddhanta, we saw principle of similarity and differences. Finally, we saw some of the Ayurvedic methods of health maintenance, in which Dinacharya, all the essential things to take care of our healthy life are mentioned. Ahara, that is wholesome and healthy food, is mentioned, and in the Rutucharya we saw changes as per the seasonal changes. Here we saw all the basic principles which are essential and will be used in upcoming sessions hereafter. I thank National Commission of Homeopathy for giving me this opportunity. I also thank my principal and director of MES IHS, Dr. Shyam Bhakre sir, for giving me this opportunity to present this topic. All the best, my dear students, for your upcoming examination and success. Thank you.